Hey everyone, welcome back to Bleach Brave Souls. And today, guys, of course, we're going to talk about the new manga characters that have been announced, which are Ichigo, Rukia, and Renji. Wow, what a bomb that Klab dropped on us. I didn't think these characters were coming out until round 4, but here they are. And right today, we're going to just talk about what I think they'll be like, because, there's a lot of speculation that's going around as to what these characters will be like. So I thought I would give you my thoughts. This video may become irrelevant very quickly because Klab is holding a live stream tonight, and who knows, they might announce some of the information at that live stream. Anyway, with that out of the way, guys, I have to say that I'm pretty sure that these will be the most broken characters in the game. This is the pinnacle, especially Ichigo, because Ichigo, main character, all right? This is his final form. And I know a lot of you are going to say that, oh no, he has a Bankai form in the manga. But if you remember, guys, he didn't really get to do much with that Bankai form. And I guess I should mention spoilers, because I am going to talk about the manga if you haven't read it yet. So just be aware. So Ichigo being the main character, this is possibly the pinnacle character for the entire game, guys. This is Ichigo's pretty much his final form. So expect him to be very, very powerful. That goes without saying. I know that's pretty obvious to everyone, but I think that Klab is going to take it to a new level with this Ichigo. So a lot of people are predicting Flurry, Frenzy. Some people are predicting both. That is a outside possibility, guys. We do know. I do know. Let's say this first. None of us on YouTube know anything for a fact. All right, we are all just speculating. But I have to assume that his statistics will be freaking incredible. Like, I'm talking over 700 attack, over 700 SP, both of them. Now, if we want to talk about what this character could be like, we have to look at the actual manga. And we're going to do that right now, guys, because it will give us some clues into what the gameplay and the strong attacks and his abilities should look like when they are put into the game. Now, the first power we see from Ichigo is his mini Getsuga Tensho. He does this with a flick of his wrist when he's fighting Stern Ritter, the Thunder, Candace. I think that's her shrift, but it doesn't matter. During the fight with the female Stern Ritter, he does a Getsuga Tensho just like with his smaller sword. He just flicks his wrist, and it's just a mini, like, effortless Getsuga, but it has a tremendous amount of power. So that just goes to show you the amount of a power up he got from the Royal Realm training that he received. So I think that will definitely be one of his strong attacks without a doubt. Maybe strong attack 1, because it is kind of a quick Getsuga Tensho. I mean, there's not really that much to Ichigo. He doesn't really have that many abilities besides Getsuga Tensho. He does have an enormous amount of Ryatsu as well, but his main attack is the Getsuga Tensho. Now, if we move on to the next scene in this fight, he also has another ability where he uses both swords, and he kind of makes a cross with them, and he fires out what he calls Getsuga Jujisho, and it's in the form of a cross. So I think it's just a different variant of the Getsuga Tensho. More powerful, obviously, because it has two blades that cross. So maybe that'll be a strong attack 2 or 3. And the final thing we see from Ichigo, and this is, I don't know if they'll go this far with this character, because Ichigo does eventually release his hollow power as well. And you can see it in this image right here, that he has the hollow horn. And in this form, he combines his Getsuga Tensho, which is a massive Getsuga Tensho, with a Grand Rei Sero. So that could be his special, I'm thinking. I don't know if they'll go this far into the manga with this particular character. Maybe they'll make Getsuga Jujisho the final attack for this character. But I'm kind of leaning towards the Grand Rei Sero combination, because he's not yet in his Bankai. Maybe this will be a pretty epic special for him to have. So let's go with that, guys. I think that will be the setup for this character. As far as abilities go, I think he will definitely, well, I can't say definitely. He is a dual wielder. So there is a high chance that he will have Flurry. He may also have Frenzy, because these Getsuga attacks are just so powerful. So who knows? This is Ichigo, and I think the sky is the limit for this character. I don't think it's a stretch to say he may have both. He could also be ranged. There is also a possibility that he could be ranged. We only have one ranged Thousand Year Blood War character, which is Byakuya. So maybe that is an outside possibility. But for my official prediction, what I'm going to put down on record, I'm going to say, man, it's tough. I'm going to say Flurry. I'm going to say he's going to be a heart character. No, I'm not going to say he's going to be a heart. He's going to be heart or mind, but we already have the movie Ichigo as heart. So I think he will be mind, just because for the main reason that there are no other top tier mind Ichigo units. Every other attribute already has a top tier Ichigo. For example, heart has the movie Ichigo, technique has the Fullbring Ichigo, and so forth and so forth. So I think he will be mind. A neutral attribute would suit him as well, so he won't be weak to any other attributes, really. And the strong attacks, as I mentioned. Strong attack 1 is the mini Getsuga. Strong attack 2 is the Getsuga Jujisho. He'll have the, he may or may not have the Gran Rei Sero with the combined Getsuga Tensho. Don't know on that, not sure on that. I don't think he'll have any status effects for now. I don't think he'll have a boost or a heal or anything like that, or a shield. It just wouldn't suit his character. He'll be pretty much just a pure damage dealer. So I think I covered it all for Ichigo. That is my prediction for how that character will play out. I guarantee you guys that he will be broken. He will make us go, oh my god, wow, Klab. He's going to make us do that shit. So look forward to Ichigo. Man, I am really hyped about this Ichigo. I'm not going to lie. Do I think it will be the final Ichigo, canon Ichigo in the game? I kind of feel like it has to be, because his final Bankai, he did release his Bankai in the manga, but if you read the manga, you saw that he wasn't able to do much with it. So if they were to make a Bankai manga Ichigo, they would have to make shit up. So that's why I don't think that will happen. Alright, let's move on. I'm going to try to fit all three characters into this one video. Let's talk about Rukia real quick. Now, Rukia is another character that I am not, I mean, they could go either way with this character. You know, I don't think she would be suited for Flurry, although from her attacks and her screen time in the manga, I mean, she did have some pretty quick attacks on Asnote, but I don't think she would fit the Flurry profile. As for the attribute, I'm going to go with Heart on the Rukia, just because there is no Heart Rukia that exists in the game. Do I think she'll have freeze on everything? Yes, but I think that they'll make her a little bit different from Toshiro. So hear me out on this, guys. There is an ability in the game that only one character, I think it's only one character, don't quote me. The Christmas Halibel has an ability called Disabler, which increases the probability of her freeze by a certain percentage. And I'm not sure what the percentage is, but that is a very real possibility for this Rukia. Maybe she'll have Disabler, so she has a higher chance to freeze. It would make sense for her character because, you know, everything she does freezes people. I mean, it would make sense for the Toshiro as well, but I think even more so for this Rukia. I also think there's a small chance that Rukia will have an insta-kill on her special, just like Shunsui and Aizen and Retsu, because if you read the manga, when she goes into her Bankai, it's pretty much a wrap for you. You know, you get frozen solid and that's it. So that totally makes sense. In addition to that, I would lean towards Frenzy with this character. Flurry is a very low probability. I don't think she'll get Flurry, but I definitely think she'll get Frenzy. She does have an interesting drawback to all of her abilities. So there could potentially be some new mechanic where they apply a penalty to Rukia when she uses her special. You know, if I recall correctly, she only has 4 seconds of mobility when she releases her ice. When she's in her Bankai, she pretty much, this is not confirmed, but I don't think she can move that much. So maybe she'll do the special and then she'll be slowed or something. Or maybe she does the special and she'll take damage as well. Maybe a certain percentage of damage, because that's the way her Bankai works. She hasn't mastered it yet, and she has to be very careful with the temperature control, or she'll end up destroying herself. So maybe they'll implement something like that to make it more faithful to the manga. If you've noticed, guys, all of these Thousand Year Blood War characters are extremely faithful to the manga. So anything that happens in the manga has been pretty well reflected in the character in-game. You can just look at the Shunsui. Shunsui, all his strong attacks correspond to his actual abilities. His special is almost identical to his abilities, and the same is true for all the other characters as well. Rukia should be no different. The penalty thing could be a reality for Rukia. She may have some kind of drawback. She might have a very overpowered special, but at the same time, it might, you know, affect her negatively in some way. So those are my thoughts on Rukia, guys. I'm going to go with Heart. I'm going to go with Frenzy. I'm going to go with Disabler. I'm going to go with Insta-Kill and an outside chance that they'll make her have some kind of negative effect when she uses that special. And one more thing about Rukia, I don't think she'll be like Yin and Yang where you can switch between her normal form and her Bankai form. That just wouldn't make sense from a story point of view because she can't actually do that. When she goes Bankai, you know, it takes time for her to, you know, release it and go back to her normal form. So it wouldn't really make sense story-wise. I don't think it would make sense for it to be a tag team type mechanic either. So I think it will just be, she does the special. It could potentially be like Bankai Kenpachi, where she turns into the Bankai form, and then you use that for 30 seconds. That's definitely something that they could do, but I'm thinking that it's not going to be that way. I'm thinking it's just going to be, she uses the special, you'll see her in her Bankai form, and that'll be it. If you look at the way the character art is, it's similar to what they did for Dangai Ichigo, where they had the normal form of Dangai Ichigo, and then they had Mugetsu behind him, but Mugetsu only showed up in the special. So I think that's the same thing for Rukia. Alright, so let's move on to the final character in this banner, Renji. Bankai, final form Bankai Renji. And guys, if there's any character that is going to get the shaft in this round 3 manga banner, it's gotta be Renji. Although, I don't think he will. People are saying, oh, they're going to do him like they did the pink-haired Yachiru. I don't think so because this is a significant plot character. Renji is probably one of the top 3 main characters in the story. So I don't think they're going to make him weak per se, but he may be weak in comparison to Ichigo and maybe even Rukia. Although, I mean, if I had it my way, him and Rukia should probably be like similar in power. But you never know with Klab. They don't always follow the power levels of the story in the game because you really can't. It's a game. There has to be. It's different than a story. So as far as the attribute goes, I think I'm leaning towards a speed manga Renji. He could also be technique. I would prefer him to be speed because to be honest, I want to use him in a team with manga Byakuya, so I don't want them to both be green. But it's really a toss-up right there, guys. There's no way to predict it. Speed and technique are the attributes that he's lacking. I mean, we do have a power, a technique, and a speed Renji, but they're all kind of weaker and older characters, except for the technique Renji, who is a frenzy character, so that doesn't really count either. As far as this character's abilities go, I think he's going to be a frenzy character. He may be a hybrid frenzy character, with hybrid stats and frenzy on top of that. I think he may potentially have a burn on either his special or only one of his strong attacks, because the snakehead part of his Bankai is capable of shooting out some kind of Reiatsu based attack, and it looks like it would burn his enemy. If you saw them fight with the masculine, when he was defeated, he was severely charred. You could see like it was black. He looked like he had been through a fire. So I think Renji could potentially have burn on his special, and maybe even on one of his strong attacks. The other strong attacks should be just like blade attacks with his sword part, or his gorilla arm could be something they use as well. The gorilla arm is a unique thing. Maybe they could do some kind of mechanic where it, immobilizes people, or he grabs them, or he hits them with it and they're stunned. That could be a thing. Maybe a second strong attack is with the gorilla arm. It swipes. It has a chance to stun. Maybe the third strong attack is the Reiatsu blast with the snakehead. Maybe that burns. Again, for this character, I don't see him a likely candidate for any of the boost, buffs, or heals. It just doesn't make sense. But other than that, yeah, he should be a pretty straightforward character as well. He should do a lot of damage. He'll definitely be a melee character. Maybe he'll have a ranged strong attack. I don't know. We'll see about that. But yeah. So anyway, guys, that's all my predictions. I've probably left some stuff out, but I'm kind of doing this video off the cuff. So if I did, let me know in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are on these characters. I guarantee you they're going to be broken AF. This is probably, like I said in the beginning of the video, this is probably the pinnacle banner of Bleach Brave Souls, unless they extend the manga characters into the Quincy's, and then, it's anybody's guess. But for now, this is the pinnacle banner, Ichigo, Renji, and Rukia, the three of the main characters. After this, I don't know what it could be. How are they going to top this? Like, you would have thought that this would have been the finale, the grand finale for the manga characters. But no, guys, no. We don't know what's next. I think an interesting thing to pay attention to will be the killer attributes of these characters. Because, and now we're really veering off into speculation. But if they have human killer, you know, that could imply maybe Quincy's. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. What would be more hype than these characters? What could be the grand finale? I mean, Kisuke and Yoruichi and Mayuri would be hype and everything, but not more hype than this banner. I'll tell you that. Like, these are the main characters. I mean, for some Bleach fans, yeah, they might be more hype, but for, you know, the general Bleach audience, I think these are the pinnacle characters. So the only way I think they could be topped is maybe, you know, in the next banner they have. And I'm hesitant to say this, but they have Uryu, maybe they have Yuach and Hoshwald, and maybe Basby. I don't know, guys. That's just pure speculation. But that is the only thing I think that could top this banner. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I know I rambled on a little bit. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts. There is a Klab live stream tonight at 10. I believe it's at 10 or 11. It's at 11. I'll try to link it in the description. We may or may not find out the information at that point. So you might want to check it out if you are staying up that late. So once again, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.